Right, we are recording. Finn, stop kissing the guests!
Fine.
Ow! I'm worried he's going to knock all this everywhere.
Yeah.
That guy.
I can't wait to interview him. So what are your aspirations in life? Welcome to the studio.
Welcome to the studio. The rent on this place is a mortgage. Come on, dog. Relax now. Come here. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to CarMugz podcast. Today I'm joined by Paul Wallace, aka Supercars of London.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you. Dude, got to be a handshake. Thank you very much for coming down, man.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to sit cross-legged like a child.
That's fine.
So I've structured out the podcast a little bit today with questions for yourself. We haven't done any questions from people, which we might be able to just go live for at the end real quick and see if we can get something. But I've got quite a lot of stuff to get through.
Okay.
Because obviously you're a big YouTuber, I'm a small YouTuber, so I want to...
We're both YouTubers.
Yeah, both YouTubers. I want to get your advice and how anybody else starting out, maybe they could do it and all that sort of stuff.
Wicked.
And see how life as a big YouTuber is. Big successful YouTuber. So, who are you? Please introduce yourself, show the camera, so in case anybody out there doesn't know who you are, then...
Alright.
The floor is yours. Finn, stop licking your willy, man.
Oh, he's just been licking my face as well.
He's a good boy.
My name is Paul Wallace. I run a YouTube channel called Supercars of London, which is primarily based in the UK, but in recent years it's taken me to all sorts of corners of the earth, which has been pretty amazing, really. I come from Watford in Hertfordshire, so anyone from around there, what's up? However, I spend a lot of time in Essex as well, so it feels like my second home in a way.
The best county there is.
And yeah, over the last 10 years, which makes me feel very old, I've been mainly filming supercars, but lover of all cars, and now have decided that I want to get into the drift world. I want to get into the drift community. So experiencing that today was a lot of fun, although a small...
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
We couldn't really find anywhere to do anything, so I just did a couple of little skids, but...
It wasn't you though, was it?
Rick.
Yeah.
That bastard.
Yeah, I met him today. What a crazy guy.
But yeah, I thought it'd be... I'm really appreciative of you coming down, man, genuinely. I really hope we can get a good insight in yourself and and what your obviously future plans are with the drifting.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we just had a lovely lunch, by the way.
We did.
It was lovely.
We did. It was a lovely
just
Italian.
missing a candlelight, and then it was that romantic. So, right, we're on a car podcast. So, what cars have you owned? Please start off with. Where did it all start out for you before the YouTube and all that? Like, where did it start?
It started with me owning. Well, not owning. No, I just used my mum's car. So I used to pay for the additional excess on my mum's insurance, which was a 2004 Ford Focus, which he still has now.
Oh, wow.
And it's had a pretty tough life, safe to say. That was the first car that I really learned the basics of driving and started to drive by myself in. And when I was 21, I bought a 2007 Vauxhall Astra SXI, which was a dream car of mine. It was a 3-door, so it was a super sleek car that literally, when Vauxhall were like, here's the concept of a car that we want to build, and then they actually built it looking like that.
Yeah.
It was such a good looking car. It had a sport button that stiffened up the throttle and the suspension, and it was amazing. And go on.
Need to make sure I put the microphone on.
Oh.
This is something I do every single time.
Is it on?
Oh,
it's on.
Thank goodness I've literally had that cold chill run through my body. There'll probably be a seed on the... Sorry, dude.
Just your face getting whiter and whiter as I carried on talking.
Last time I did it in the podcast, and it was about 45 minutes in, I went, can I just check that the sound's on? It was okay though.
Yeah, there were a lot of technical errors in YouTubing. But I think the most satisfaction that I got out of that car was the fact that it was better than my older brother's car. Okay. Because he had a Skoda Fabia. Okay. And mine was better, it was faster, he enjoyed riding in it, even in the passenger seat, more than he did driving his own car. And then from there, it started to go a little bit weird, and I went from an Astra to an R8.
You're kind of just leapfrogging all the next step cars.
Yeah. Manual V8. Incredible car, and I documented that on my YouTube channel as my first supercar, and it was a series that I did that I thoroughly loved, and I basically experienced a bunch of different cars from the passenger seat, having not driven any of them, and then ended up buying an R8, which just totally mental. And the best thing about that car, which I owned for 15 months, was it didn't lose any money, but it earned me money from the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So when I sold it, I managed to get a better amount of money together and bought a Lamborghini Gallardo. And then this is probably the moment when everyone's like, that guy's a douchebag. Because
I'm sure it was the Lamborghini Dream Series.
It was, yeah.
I was very jealous. I remember sitting there going, fuck, I wish I was living a Lamborghini dream.
It was honestly so surreal, and I have to look back on, like, I've got 5 videos that I look back on from that car just to really remember it, because it was such a blur. And it was... yeah, it was just surreal. But the one thing that I like cringe at is saying the word Lamborghini. Like, I love that car, it's my favourite brand. But when someone's like, oh, what car do you drive? I always used to say, like, either, oh, I drive a Ford, because sometimes I used to drive my mum's car.
Right, yeah.
And I'd always hide the fact that that was the car that I had, because I just knew everyone in their head was just going.
Right.
And so after that, I bought a Mercedes AMG GTS. Moved on from that, which I thoroughly loved, and got super lucky with that car as well, because I didn't lose any money on that, which enabled me to buy a Huracan, which was an amazing car. I really wanted to own that for a 2-year period. I wanted to put like 40,000 miles on it and drive it everywhere and document, like, traveling, but from a Lamborghini, which I just don't feel like has been done on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I sold that because I wanted to buy a property and be a bit sensible.
I think it's a good shout.
Grow up a bit.
I think it's the sense. That's what I did. I mean, I never had the wildly luxurious cars like Lamborghinis, but I had a BMW.
They're not luxurious.
You know what I mean? The prestige of a badge.
Yeah.
I had an old Beamer. Not old. It was like a 2011, and I sold that for my deposit on my first house, basically. So.
And now you're in this incredible space, which I'm very jealous of.
It's lovely, man.
So nice.
It is lovely.
So nice.
I'm very, very lucky to be in this, for sure. And you've got the...
C63.
You had an M3 as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did have an M3, which was my first... Well, it was my second dip into, like, proper rear-wheel drive cars, because the AMG GTS was rear-wheel drive, but, like, it scared the hell out of me, that car. But the M3 just felt a little bit more manageable, and the power was a lot more accessible. That I learned the balance of that car a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that's the car really that I started to fall in love with sliding cars around. And
it had that insane interior.
Yeah,
the full white
leather. I know.
Beautiful. It is beautiful. Like when I was watching your video and you did the specs of it and stuff, and I was like, oh, white leather.
I know.
That's naughty. Like.
Yeah. Everyone asked me, like, don't your jeans just ruin it? But thankfully it had like this amazing wax on it that actually you just sort of wipe everything off.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and now I drive a C63, which I love. But I've only had that for about a week, so can't love it that much.
Yeah, and we saw that at Doug Customs. Before we carry on, I'm just going to flick that screen around because I just remembered the camera does stop recording after a certain amount of time.
Oh, yeah,
so I have to keep popping up and doing that. So as long as if we can just keep an eye on that.
Do you know why it does that?
Nuts.
It stops at 10 minutes, doesn't it?
Is it 10 minutes?
I think it's 10 minutes because otherwise you can't class it as a camera.
Oh, really?
If it goes over, if it can record for longer than 10 minutes, then it's like a video cam call or something like that.
What I'll do then is we're going to have, unfortunately, the little breaks of me getting up and doing this because we are.
That's fine.
I do this so haggard. Like we use just like one camera, one mic, and a dodgy old light over there. That's like.
That's better set up than my YouTube videos.
So this is how we're trying to do this, and eventually I hope to be able to have like proper mic setups and stuff. But it's only if it works because I don't want to invest like £500-600 in microphones and all that, and then
build with the growth.
Yeah, for sure. So if you can get your pals to subscribe, that would be awesome. Right, so I've been watching your YouTube videos a lot more recently, and I saw you were saying that you were getting a Murcielago. Is that happening?
I want that to happen. It's my dream car. It always has been my dream car, and I think that goes back to filming in London. It was the one car that just did it for me. You know, you had that one car when you were a kid.
Am I wrong in thinking that Lamborghini used to give a letter with the SV one saying, if you kill yourself, it's not our fault?
I think that sounds pretty Lamborghini to me.
They were just like, look, we've kind of built this car that's so reckless, you'll probably crash and die. So if you do, it's yours and not our fault, sort of thing.
Probably just to cover their own backs, because they are.
Come on, it's enough. It's enough. Yeah.
Now look at him, standing proud. He loves the
show. Yeah, you were saying you were looking at them in London.
And I filmed so many of them in London, and my whole perception on cars was based on how they looked and how they sounded. And it still is my #1 priority whenever I'm thinking about buying a car or driving a car, whatever it is. It's how they look, how they sound. It's as simple as that. And I've been lucky enough to have some unbelievable cars that I never ever thought that I'd be in the driver's seat of, and it still comes down to it doesn't have the same spark that the Murcielago gives me. So it is still my number one car that I would like to own, and it's the car that I would buy and then keep forever and just cherish and really look after it. You're gonna tie it now. Am I boring you?
So it would be a forever car then?
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. No. Come on, stop being silly. Sit down. Sit down. Right, yeah, cool, man. Well,
looking around like, what's going on?
if you want to get down, you can, but you can't get up and down. Alright? Okay, so the Murcielago would be a forever car.
Yeah, it would. I don't know what it is about that car, and I think everyone has that one car that they'd love to own. It's like a poster car, and for me that was it.
That was the Murcielago.
Yeah.
Mine was the Dodge Viper.
Oh.
The GTS, the
Yeah,
coupe.
yeah.
I think, I still to this day, because I looked at them, before I bought the M3, I was like, can I get one?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, because the M3, it's a weekend car, so it's like, can I get one?
Yeah.
I know it's stupid, but
what would
can
the
I get
insurance
one?
be on a Dodge Viper?
I don't know, and I don't. The thing is, like, I think I'd be able to do it as a classic car.
Okay.
Because they're that old now, aren't they? The one I like are that old, and classic cars are nothing.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, oh my god, dog.
It's gonna get down now.
Yeah.
He's given up. He's like, this podcast's actually quite boring. No, I'm joking.
So yeah, like the Viper was my my forever car. Well, not my forever car, my dream car growing up, and it. Oh my god, dog, you're just ruining everything. So what are you doing? Yeah, so that'd be the car that I always wanted growing up was the Viper, and
it's
if that was yours, I completely understand that, because even though it might, it does actually fit in well with your channel and all that sort of stuff as well. But if it's the car you want, then you got to get it. Like the M3 was on mine, the E92, I just thought it was the car, and I was like,
incredible. Such a cool car.
Yeah. So that's rad. Right, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back. So
cheers, Finn.
as you're a YouTuber,
He's back as well.
Oh, you
Here
coming
he
back
comes.
up? Oi, are you coming back up? What are you doing? So we'll let him just wander around. As being a YouTuber, as your primary job, like, how did you start it all up, and how did you go from? Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Oh, it goes under the tripod.
God, dog, you are ruining everything. Come on. Let me start that question again.
Okay.
Now the dog can't ruin everything. We're playing a bit of footsie. Okay, so with YouTube being your main job, your main priority in life, when it comes to money and that, like, how did you start it up, and at what point did you go from being like, okay, this is fun, to okay, this could be a career?
I think the moment that I remember the news bulletin on BBC News, and it was literally YouTube/Google are going to start paying people to upload YouTube videos, and it was literally that first bit of news. And I remember overhearing it. I was in the kitchen in my mum's house and going, that'd be so cool, because I'd had it a year on YouTube of uploading videos of me literally on a trampoline.
I'm so sorry, man. Alright, hold that thought. You're on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Start again from that. How did you begin your YouTube, so we can go from there?
Yeah, so my first channel that I set up was a channel where I basically used to jump off trampolines into bushes.
Oh,
that was literally as advanced as YouTube was back then. Literally, like, you can see the evolution of a human from the ape. Like, we were at the ape.
Yeah.
Like, jumping into trees, fences, anything that I thought was quite funny.
Jackass style.
That was the content that I used to watch. But then obviously I stumbled across this whole sort of supercar world in London and Knightsbridge and all of these fancy posh areas, and I was going up in Umbro trackies and a hoodie and like this dodgy coat that was like 5 years old, and I was just paying for child tickets because I couldn't afford anything else, going up with my mobile phone and taking pictures, and discovered this world of supercars. I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, where normally you'd buy like Nuts or Zoo to see the latest car and things, I was seeing them in real life.
I won't buy Nuts and Zoo for cars. But yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah. And I ended up finding all of these cars. I was like, oh my god, like, this is so cool now. I'm seeing Ferraris and Lamborghinis, like, which I never got in Watford. So I set a YouTube channel up with a friend of mine. We both co-ran it. And that's how Supercars of London was created. 31st of October 2008. And I just sort of
10 years old this year.
Yeah, which is nuts. And so basically from there, about 5 or 6 years worth of that was just cars. I never put myself on camera because I just was always scared of what my friends at school were going to do.
Right.
It literally, my friends at school didn't know that I used to go to London to film cars because I thought I was a nerd. I thought I was like this weird person. No one else was doing it. You literally, Sloane Street is Gucci, like all of these amazing fashion brands that like, I can't even name, like Marc Jacobs, all that lot. All down this one road, and you got all these people like walking around in fur coats and Lamborghinis and Bentleys, and then like these two kids running up the road after a Ferrari with their phone going, come back! And so for the first 5 years, that's what happened. I went to university, I kind of grew up a little bit, and once I came out of university, I had adverts on my YouTube channel, and I had to apply. So I had to send Google a business plan of how many hours I was going to spend YouTubing, how much money I was going to invest in it, my targets, like my loves and everything like that, so that they could then sort of, I suppose, vet people on where the adverts sat on YouTube. It was sort of really in the early days. And I came out of uni, I was like, I really want to try and create a sustainable income from this because this is what I love to do. So I spent 6 months every day in London, just driving into London, because at that point I had my Vauxhall Astra, and I just had content coming out of my ears. I just saw everything. Every single car was in London. It was over the summer where all the Arabs were in town, and it was just unbelievable. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I just love this so much. And then over that year, I started to see YouTubers like Zoella and all of these people that were like vlogging from their bedroom, and I was just thinking, God, that's nuts. I can't do that. I need like a story to be able to tell, to be able to do that. And the first video that I shot when I was on camera was just this awful TV style show, and I just wanted to create a real Top Gear. Because Top Gear, you obviously see the cars drifting around all of the corners of the track, but they've got unlimited fuel, unlimited tyres, they've got a team there to help if they bin a car or whatever. And I just wanted to create a real life version of my insight into the cars. And literally I edited that video together. I was like, I can't put that online. I literally could not put that online. It was so scripted because I thought that I could like try and engineer some funny jokes of things that I thought about in cars, like how low is a Lamborghini? Like no one ever knew how low it was. And all of that.
I'm really sorry to stop you again. The dog is doing my fucking nothing with that noise it's making.
What's he doing?
I put in like a little treat thing down.
Oh, and he's playing with it.
And he's playing with it, but he licks it. And I hate the noise of licking, so if I kick up the hallway, come on, come do it up there.
Oh, he's not going to. I sometimes feel sorry for how intelligent dogs are.
See, if he's doing it out there, then he can just kind of wander back in.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to lock him out there.
Otherwise he'll scratch and scratch. Sorry about that. So we're back again.
That's cool.
See, the problem is working with live animals, man. Like
he's back already.
Oh my god. Please just bear with us. One day I might be able to afford like a studio and we can do a V2 of this and ask more in depth with. What are you doing now? Are you going to chill out or what? Please? Come on. Come on. Come on. Right, if I move this out of the way now so he can come and go. If you want more water, please just shout.
Yeah.
Yeah? You want some more water now?
No, I'm good, thank you.
So yeah. So you were doing like a TV show style thing?
Yeah, and it flopped. And then I thought, do you know what? Like, I want to know what it's like to buy a supercar and document the real life ownership of something.
And at this
like
point
that.
you had the money from YouTube to afford to do it?
Nothing.
No? Okay.
I had no money. And I decided that I was going to set my first supercar up. This was the sort of thing that I pinned everything on. Like, it was a huge risk that I was going to announce to my audience that at some point I was going to buy a supercar. I had no idea how long it was going to take for any of this to happen. And I contacted Premier Velocity, which is the car hire company, and I was like, look, can we do some cool videos? You get quite a lot of exposure out of it. I get to create the content. It was a win-win situation. I teamed up with them, and every week I filmed a test drive from the passenger seat of what it was like to just sit in a car, because I hadn't had that much experience as it was in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. So just having that access to cars was a real eye-opener for me.
Yeah.
And at the time I had sort of social media consultancy little business that I tied in with YouTube as well. Poor little dog.
He's an idiot, man.
He's just cleaning his toenails now.
Yeah, he's itching his ear. Yeah, you're doing the...
So what I did was I teamed up with a bunch of different companies, and I helped run their Twitter and Instagram, their business Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and that consumed a lot of my time. But it also earned me income on top of the YouTube revenue that I had. And people started to really buy into this series that had never been done before. Because I was like, whoa, like, if I could follow some of the supercar owners that are driving around in London when I was filming them, I'd love to see an insight into just what they get up to.
Yeah, of course.
And just having access into their life as such, of what it's like to own a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. So that was what I wanted to do. I never wanted to create a Top Gear spec stat type, real sort of factual show. I wanted to create something that was real, something that was real life, but involves my passion, which was supercars, and something that I felt like I could talk about quite a lot. And it got towards like the end of my first supercar when I was kind of running out of all of these cars. I'm thinking, oh my god, like I haven't got any money at all. And I managed to sell my Vauxhall Astra, which has since been written off, RIP.
Oh.
And with the help of the social media consultancy stuff and the companies that were involved, that I was involved with, they managed to support me alongside the YouTube revenue that I had to be able to get this Audi R8,
right?
Which was just totally mental. And funnily enough, the one company that didn't benefit from it that I pitched to was the company that I bought it from.
Oh,
so
really?
They gave me a mini deal, and I said, look, I'm doing YouTube, I'm going to document, and I think this is going to be quite a big video. Do you want to get involved in some form of promotion that we can work on a long-term thing? It was kind of a bit businessy.
Yeah.
And they were like, look, we don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's fair enough, isn't it? With the YouTube, it is still at risk, I think, now.
Yeah.
Companies, even though you can see how successful you can be on it.
Yeah. And I think maybe like 2 years ago or whatever, that company got back in touch and were like, oh, we've seen you doing really well on YouTube. Like, can we work together? Can we do this? And I was like, we can, but like, let's see what we can do. So that was really how I got on the sort of the bandwagon, or that's how I got on that ladder of owning a car like that. And it really helped because I had stickers on the car, I had sponsorship on the car, which helped pay for the car.
Yep.
And like I was skint, like I could not afford the petrol in that car. That was why I got so infatuated by fuel economy and how good a supercar could be on fuel economy, because no one ever sees that.
Yeah.
But really, I just couldn't afford the fuel to do it. So I was like, I need to drive this really slow at low revs just to see how good the fuel economy is. But I then got really involved in that, and I started playing games with myself about how little fuel that I could use.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah. I guess that's fair enough.
Yeah. And then I came to sell that car when I realised that I hadn't lost any money on it. It was still worth the same that I paid for it. And once I had sold that, I was like, right, like now I really need to get properly involved into the supercar world. And I made a jump that at the time I really couldn't do into getting into that Lamborghini. Like, I definitely couldn't afford that. It was the biggest risk that I've ever taken. But I just remember like my lecturer's ears in my head going, you're not a businessman if you're not a risk taker.
Yeah,
definitely. I was like, I need to take this risk. I need to make this jump. And like for the first couple of months or so, I couldn't afford the Lamborghini, and it was only that first month of YouTube AdSense, because the delay on it is 45 days or so, that I had to wait for the first month of AdSense to come in from the videos that I'd made on the Lamborghini to be able to pay for it.
The Lamborghini.
Yeah, so I had to wait like 2 months before I was like, oh my god, like I've just got no money whatsoever, and it was the scariest.
People don't see that side of the struggle, like they just see you buying the Lambo and they think, oh fucking
yeah, because I think because YouTube is a snippet into whatever you're filming that day, and during that time I was doing daily videos. That's fine.
You sure?
Yeah,
it's really annoying me. Like,
I enjoy having a little dog here.
Okay, well he's not that little anymore.
He's like my sidekick, but yeah, he's bigger than me when I'm sat down.
Yeah, they see a little snippet in your life, and I always try and explain that to people. Like, obviously, like that's where my experience comes in as well. Like, these are just like little windows into your life. It isn't what you're doing every day. Like when I love having Zach, my friend, come to help me film now, because it takes that a little bit of pressure off of me. Because I know he's good on the camera, I know he'll get me what I want, and he doesn't mind if I go, Zach, I need you to do this, and he's like, oh yeah, good idea. It's not like, oh fucking hell, let me film it. So, oh, good idea, you know.
Yeah. It's nice that you've found someone that shares the same passion.
Yeah. Well, we met through cars anyway, so that's how.
But he's also as motivated as you.
Yeah.
Like because there are so many times where you could probably have a guy that sort of helps you out with the camera stuff, and you feel like it's a burden that you're asking him, and like, could you mind if you just film this little bit, like just 10 seconds of your time, like,
yeah, definitely.
And yeah, if you're not treading on eggshells around someone, you feel like you're both working together for the same goal, then it massively helps.
Well, I don't know how he feels about it. Like when I'm like,
he might walk out that front door and be like,
yeah, but I know that he trusts me with the editing and the final result, and you know, and all that sort of stuff. And I think even if I might annoy him when I'm like, dude, I need you to get this shot, and he's like, oh, fucking all right, he'll watch back and be like, all right, that was sick.
Yeah,
you know, like, all right, that was cool.
Yeah,
like, so I think he trusts me and I trust him. So it's kind of a good like mutual partnership.
Yeah, exactly,
so
for sure.
Yeah, and the people don't. I think that's something that I wish there was more coverage on. Like, fucking hell, this is hard work. Like,
do you know the maddest thing that I've discovered is when you want to try and document what is actually like behind the scenes, and you upload a behind the scenes video, it's still an edited version of the behind the scenes. You almost need someone rolling a 24-hour camera the entire time.
Just take the camera up there.
That live streams the entire thing.
Someone should live stream them editing a video, earphones in for 6 hours.
The most boring video of all time.
Yeah. I feel like this brings us to the point where I can ask you the main question that I wanted to ask you, which I did text you about as well, so you kind of got a heads up on this, but I don't know if I explained it well enough. It's how the YouTube audience devalues the achievement of owning, you know, supercars or spec'd up cars, and like how, like, even with my recent experience with the M3, how supportive people have been has been amazing. Like, I was very nervous about uploading that video because I was like, it's a big deal though. Yeah,
like, it's a big deal in your life. And you've bought something that you're sharing with your audience that have been following your journey. And it is such a nerve-wracking moment when you're like, I've made this huge decision. Yeah,
and it's for me. Like, that was the thing with the Beamer. Like, I even said in the video, like, this is not a project for the channel. This is not a car to impress anybody. This is something that I've wanted for, like, I don't even know how long, man. Like, it was when the E92 came out, I first saw it, I was like, that is the car that I want. Like, that is beautiful. Like, I got to drive a bright yellow one, you know, the Dakar edition one. And I was like, I want this. That was when it was brand new. I was like, I want this car. How do I get one? Well, 8 years later or whatever it is, I've got one. And I was like, I know my audience probably would just be like, I wish you'd spent the money doing the EG or the S15 making that. I'm like, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I wanted to spend that money on that. So I just wanted, like, how it feels for yourself, like when you buy like a Lamborghini, like, you know, that next level of car, like that supercar. Do you ever read the comments and like get that, or on Twitter or anything where they're just like, oh, you should have bought a McLaren, or you should have, and you're just like, fucking hell, bruv, I've just bought a Lambo, mate. Let me enjoy this for a second. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, I totally get it, and I think the most important thing that I've learned over the years, especially with how many different opinions there are on YouTube, is that the world would be such a boring place if everyone liked the same thing.
Oh, a million.
And that's as simple as it is. And the one really interesting comment that I had on Twitter around my C63 is it's got a lot of chrome on the outside, which I don't like. I don't like chrome, and neither do you. And there was comments about, oh, you should leave the chrome. Like, everyone does gloss black. All of the YouTubers do gloss black. And that's not because we're copying everyone else, because we're like, oh, he did a video on that, I'm going to go and do a video on that. Like, it's my personal opinion, and like, if I didn't want to do it on my car, I wouldn't do it on my car. And then I was just thinking, but can you imagine if everyone had chrome on their car driving down the road, or if everyone didn't have chrome driving down the car? Like, it's just that variation. Everyone's got different opinions, everyone likes different things, everyone dislikes different things.
But it's like, I loved it in the video where is it Tony and that were like, yeah, you've got to do the wheels gloss black, and I was watching the video going, don't do the wheels gloss black. I was literally going, don't do that. I think I even texted you, dude, please don't do the wheels gloss black. They all look rank, like they'll just get lost in the car. And like, when I picked the M3 up, the shop that I bought it from were like, what are you going to do to it? Because they know who I am, and I do all my modifying. They don't know me from YouTube, they know me because of my cars. And they were like, what are you going to do to it then? I was like, first protocol is get rid of those black wheels. But they were like, we'll buy them back off you. I was like, I can't sell them because the limited edition comes with the black bloody wheels. So I've got to put them in my garage, like £1,000 set of wheels that I won't be able to sell. Because like, if I ever do sell the car, obviously I want to go back to standard. So it's like, oh, it's so frustrating. But going back to the point, like, do you personally feel like the achievement of owning the supercar, and that, to me, it is such a big thing. If I ever am in the position, like, I'd like to have one of those MP412Cs. I think the original ones. That's the one that in my heart of hearts, I'd like. I think it's the prettiest one. It's the one that I'm like, maybe I could afford that in 5 or 6 years when they've come down and my wage has gone up a bit.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if I bought that, I don't know if I'd want to post a video because someone would be like, oh, Shmee bought one of them 18 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, fucking hell, I'm not him. Like, I don't know whether like you get that same sort of vibe. Do you feel like the ownership of a supercar gets almost like the fun taken out of it because you're in the position because of the videos, but the videos almost draw that out of it as well?
I think it's quite fun because it definitely gives you that perspective of what other people are thinking. And it goes back to like Forza. Yeah. My garage looks completely different to someone else's garage because when they've earned that 100 grand bonus of doing loads of races, they go and buy a completely different car to what I'd buy. And it's exactly the same on YouTube. I think because YouTube has now become a lot bigger, and I think social media has advanced so much in over the last 5 years or so, that we're just exposed to so much more stuff. So your audience watch you and collect your BMW M3 and they think that's awesome. But someone might also subscribe to Shmee and have watched him collect his Ferrari, McLaren, Porsche, all in the space of a month. And then when they come back to your channel in 3 years' time and you've got your 12C that's your pride and joy, they've already seen someone collect that car.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I think social media has just opened the door for us to be exposed to so much that it's one of those things like, you see someone collect, I don't know, like a Bentley or something like that, and you're like, oh my god, like I would have had the Aston Martin.
Oh yeah.
And then you start doing it yourself.
Yeah. But I'd never publicly go, God, Paul, you're a fool. You shouldn't have got that Lambo, you should have got that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I had 190 grand, I'd have done this. Right? Yeah. I'm sure you would have done, pal, but calm down. Like, it's not your 190 grand. Like,
I think it's a load of fun, and you just still have to look at it as a percentage of that amount of comments that you get based around someone questioning your decision versus the amount of people that are supporting you for your channel, your content and your decisions. Because at the end of the day, I'm buying the Mercedes C63 because I'm going to live with it. For every single day I drive that car, and I bought it for my own personal reasons. It just so happens that it's like a pretty damn awesome car that I love. That it's so cool that I'm able to share that side of my life with my audience.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, it's nice to get your take on it because obviously you live that supercar level, whereas like I just get like people are like, oh, you should use your Beamer more than your Nissan. Do you know what I mean? Like, you skip your Beamer again. Like, I don't want to skip the Beamer anymore. Like, it's that sort of like irritants for me. I'm just like, dude, like I'm making this like in my spare time. I've got to get over that. I think like because the amount of support I got on that M3 video was like mind blowing to me. Like,
and you can see that as well because it's spread across to Instagram, and you can see the amount of comments and likes that you're getting on those pictures. And it's so cool to be able to share your love of cars and your passion with everyone else. And I mean, I get it on all of my cars. Like I bought an Audi A1. And the first thing people are like, oh, you need to lower that, you need to tune that, you need to put the exhaust on, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm just like, whoa, this is my car that I drive every day. Yeah. And I got it with the BMW M3 as well. You should lower that, you should slam it, you should put it to the ground. And then I'm like, well, no, I can't go over speed bumps. And I drive this every day. Yeah. So it is one of those things that if you can like just maintain your composure as you're looking through the comments, then like
I can't sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like, right, let's put that down for
there's a hell of a lot of comments out there that you're just like, whoa, that was personal. But
ouch, okay. No, I do know what you mean, man. I do know what you mean. Like, so I'm glad that we got that. That was like the main. I think that's probably what I'm going to title the video.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Because I think that's a question that I was just like, I've got to ask.
Yeah.
For someone that would like, obviously I aspire to get to that point. Whether it's through YouTube or anything. I told you what my YouTube dream was with the Ibisu. Like, that is the dream. So like, I don't think I'd ever end up buying a supercar just from YouTube unless I become like Jake Paul or some shit. I don't know if I want to become that.
I'm not sure you want to have that life, to be
honest. But yeah, cool. Before we get into the main subject of yourself and the drifting, I just want to ask a couple more questions about the about your YouTube and the supercar side of things, because that intrigues me so much. Because it's like the dog, man. Right, we're back. We're back in action.
Dogs like getting patted on the head like this, don't they? Most of them, anyway. Most of the ones I've met.
He seems to like it. He'll tell you if he doesn't.
Yeah. Let's see how long I can do this for.
Right. So where were we at? Who was the first big manufacturer to get on board with you and your YouTube? To believe in you and go, we would like to either give you money or give you this platform to come and do a rad video and drive wild cars.
It was actually a real cliche story from the growth from 0 subscribers to 100,000 subscribers, which took about 6 years.
Wow, okay.
And then the following 3 months I went from 100,000 to 200,000. Like, it was that mental, the growth. I kept getting told from people that knew YouTube, that were like YouTube MCNs, like advertisement things that are, most of them are all a scam. They said, brands will only see you when you hit 100,000 subscribers. You're holding my hand now. He wanted my hand. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, he wanted to keep patting him. Finn, come on. No. That's the wrong type of tube you're looking for, Finn. Come on.
But it was literally like, they were saying, I think he does, he likes me.
There we go.
When you hit 100,000, brands will recognise you. And I was like, oh, cool, whatever. I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
I did YouTube because I loved it, and for the first 2 years, 3 years, like, I didn't have ads on it, like, because you couldn't get ads on it. And I only do it because I enjoy doing it. And as soon as I stop enjoying it, then I'll just be like, well, I'm just going to get a job then.
Yeah.
And literally, I hit like 100,000, and 2 days later, I got an email from Ford inviting me to Detroit to go to the Detroit Motor Show.
Wow.
And it was the show.
Finn, come on now, come on. Don't act like all innocent, like you're doing nothing. Look how big you are. You idiot, man. Sit down.
Do you reckon he thinks I'm a female dog?
No, I think he likes big men.
And yeah, and like, I'd never been abroad, like, paid for by
and they paid for everything,
they paid for the flights, they paid for the hotel, and they like put on this incredible 4 days. And I flew out to Detroit, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
It was -20, so that was probably why I was thinking, what the hell is going on? But at the same time, I was like, oh my God, like, this is just
insane.
Incredible that I've just got this flight paid for, and I'm staying in a hotel. And so that was the first brand that kind of was like, okay, this guy in the car world is making videos and has got an audience, and they listen and they watch and they engage. That they were like, okay, cool. And Ford have always been a supporter of Supercars of London, which is really cool. And I've done loads of cool stuff with them, and they always look after me and anyone else that is involved incredibly well. Non-manufacturer, the first brand that got in touch with me was Shell. And I did a video with Shell. That was the first time that I'd ever worked with a brand, and it was a proper eye-opening experience to be able to. They put on an entire day, like incredible catering. They had this assault course, and we had a BMW X6 that we were able to drive and do the assault course with. And we got timed, and there was like proper celebrities there.
Awesome.
It was like Fifth Gear, Sky Sports presenters. Like, I was just like, what the hell's going on? Like, these, and they're normal people as well. They're not 2D on a TV.
Yeah,
I was proper starstruck by all of that, and I just couldn't believe that opportunity had come from me being in London filming cars. And to think to where it is now, it is mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, and every day, like, I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Do you still wake up feeling that now?
Yeah. Like, I think because I live, breathe, I don't even know what like live and breathing is kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I literally, like, everything that I do is either social media based, car related. It never feels like work because I enjoy it. Yeah. And that's by far the coolest thing, which is why I say, like, if I ever was to not enjoy it and wake up in the morning and go, oh man, I've got to do this today, like, then I would be like, right, I need to pack this in.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, man. It's fair enough for sure. So, recently you've announced you're going to be learning to drift.
I know.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's obviously something that's been in the works behind the scenes for quite a long time, but just to be able to announce it publicly, get the weight off my shoulders, but also get it out there. Because, like, the week building up to this all happening, like, there seemed to be loads of drift news or drift videos. I was like, whoa, like, everyone's just going to do it before me. Even though I've been working hard, like, to get everything in place, get organising various things. Because the one thing that I learned last year when I announced that I needed to sell my Lamborghini to buy an apartment was sort of, I was like, right, then I'm going to film what it's like to buy a first property, because I hadn't ever seen that on the internet before, and I'd have loved to. But everything fell through, from the show home viewings to the non-show home viewings to the accountant meetings to the solicitor meetings, the estate, everything. And it was such a boring and stressful process.
It's horrible.
But I thought that I could film it, and then when I didn't, and that whole thing fell through and my content kind of fell apart, I knew that for the drift stuff I had to have things in place. So I've been working behind the scenes with some really cool people, some really helpful people, and I feel like this is like a proper community of people that really want to help, that are passionate about it, and that's why I'm so excited to get involved with it, because it ties in nicely with the supercars, because one day I'd like to take the latest Ferrari and do like a Gymkhana style video with it and really show the behind the scenes, that when you get it wrong. Because that's one thing that like the likes of Ken Block doesn't do. Like all you ever see is this incredibly beautiful video, but like hundreds of skid marks.
Yeah.
When he's been practicing.
Yeah, have you seen that one? Well, obviously you would have done, but the bit where he puts that Fiesta almost in the sea.
Yeah.
I'm curious to how many of them went in the sea. Because I keep thinking like, how close did that actually get to going down? Like, like when I'm watching that, I'm like, man, that looks so gangster. But like, how close did he genuinely get to?
How many Fords are in the sea?
How many Fiestas that are probably worth £700,000 a piece in that water?
I know.
Yeah, man. I think it's really exciting for yourself. Regardless of however your audience ever see it, I think you're probably going to have the most fun year of your life. I think you'll meet some of the most insanely talented but amazingly cool people ever. I think one thing that always amazes me about the pro drifters as well, as you'll meet with Peden, like there's only maybe how many do I know that are just pure drifters? Bagsy, he's a drifter.
Yeah.
So Bagsy, absolutely lovely man, like as well, like very talented driver.
Yeah.
Really nice, and I think that is all like his main income. Is drifting.
Okay.
Sorry, battery just died. I need a better setup than this.
Struggles of production.
So yeah, there's only a few drifters that I know for sure are drifters as a living. A lot of them will be pro drifters on the weekend, and they will be
9 to 5,
a banker, or a shop assistant, or you know, like me, I'm a car part sales guy. If I could go pro drift, I probably would, just because it'd probably be the most amazing thing ever.
It's
but
the coolest life. It's the coolest way of driving.
Finn, bruv, come here.
He does look a bit sad now.
Come here. Drifting. So where were we at? Yeah, we were saying
Bagsy. Talking about Bagsy. Bagsy.
We'll start again from like, you're gonna have probably the most insanely fun year of your entire life, and I mean that. I think because the supercars and that are wonderful. Yeah, they are. Like you can't get away from that, but the Nissan, like, you know, we were driving around in the M3 and it's sort of like, I know it's not a supercar, but it's a rad car.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Driving around like, the M3, and like, right, now we're going to get in the fun car. And you were like, the fun car.
Yeah, just surely the M3 is the fun car, but it's true.
Yeah, like the clanky diff, the bright purple paint, that everyone looking at you going, that guy's definitely doing something naughty. You know, just doing 30 mile an hour, sat there like, oh, like, he's definitely about to do something naughty, and like, than you normally do. And it's fun anyway, because they're like, well, we expected that guy to do it. Like, so I think you're going to have a great time. So I need to ask the questions about it. Like, where are you starting out? You told me you're going with Pro Drift Academy.
Yes.
Peden Nilsson.
Yes.
Amazing man. I love him.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so excited.
I'd like to think that he's like my now adopted older brother.
Okay, cool.
So like, I think he's amazing, and he's an amazing man. He's hilarious. He's the best.
Yeah.
Peden's the best.
Yeah.
Then where are you going to go from there? Like, so are you going to get in touch with your manufacturers and say like, are we going to sort out a drift car, or are you going to buy a scruffy Nissan and go from there?
Honestly, could go one of two ways.
Okay.
I don't think I would complain either way. I think I'd probably have more fun if I went and bought my own car and started to build it up from the ground. And I think a lot of people...
I don't think you even need to build up the ground, because there's so many drifters that are broke. Right? So that's one thing you'll learn. Like, that a drift car will drain every ounce of enthusiasm and money. But
that's what makes us car guys, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So like, a lot of the cars you might find, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
There'll be an S14 with a body kit and a diff on, and then you can just kind of go, do you know what, I'm gonna get my boys to wrap it. And we'll start from there.
Yeah, I'm so up for that, and I think it is just trying to fit those pieces of the jigsaw puzzle
together
into just so that it makes like a fun journey, but also gives me the opportunity of getting the maximum seat time as possible, because I don't come from a background of car enthusiasts. My mum and dad aren't big into cars. My brother's not that fussed about cars. So I'm not like other people that might have like done a bit of karting when they were younger.
Yeah.
Or
Mate,
spent
neither
time
am I.
on the track.
Neither am I.
So I do feel like I'm kind of a bit of a blank canvas, which I'm hoping is quite a good thing.
Yep.
But I'm fully aware that like I properly need to have seat time. Because I am taking this seriously. I don't want to just do it as a bit of a gimmick.
Yep.
Like I'm taking this properly seriously. So I think if I can somehow engineer it so that I can have my car that is a bit of a project car. It might not work all of the time, but that's part of the fun.
Yep, 100%.
But have whatever it is, someone supplying me with a car that I can just jump in and drift is the best of both worlds.
From what I've learned from drifting is that any little change to the car, and this might just be me being the type of driver I am.
Makes a huge difference.
Oh my goodness me.
Really?
So like I changed tyres on the front of the car. I went from having, I can't even remember what they were. They were pretty good, but I'd never used them before. For what I got on the car. But after like the first few drift days, I was like, I need, basically a company got in touch with me. And I've never had companies get in touch with me, and it was, what brand were they called? Fuck, I can't remember.
That's all right, they're not paying you.
Yeah, they're not paying me anymore. They're not giving me another set of fuck. So no, they gave me this set of tyres, and I was like, they were like, which ones do you want? So I was like, oh, I'll have these, and I wanted them for the drift day. I got them, and this is where my naivety come in. I had got 2 sticky tyres for the rear. So I went to a drift day, and I was doing grip driving all day. I was like, I can't get the back end out because my car's not powerful enough.
Yeah.
So what I did is I burnt through them best I could, just loads of burnout. So I ended up ruining the car because of it. But it's right, we got it all fixed up. And I just chucked some cheap Chinese Mohawk tyres, whatever they are, on the rear, and I've got the good ones on the front.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man! Any little change you do to it, and then going back to my BMW again, it was like I've got to learn to drive all over again.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you really are taking it seriously, you need to get one car that's the car you use. And
see,
then,
this is all good knowledge for me because I have no idea.
So let's say Mercedes were like, fuck it, we're getting behind you. We're going to build you another C63 drift car or whatever they're going to do. You know, whoever it might be.
If you're watching this,
yeah, but you know,
I'm down for that and give him one as well.
So if they would like that, then what they're going to do? They're going to put a sequential box in it because you're not going to want to flap it. Because you have to let go of that wheel. Like you throw it in and you let go, and then that's how you're controlling it. So you're not going to want to. You know, So that's where I'm thinking that maybe even if you, I think Silvias are brilliant. If you can get a Silvia that works, you have to dig through the pile to find one. But they are like some car, man.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it was so much fun going out in your car, and I got proper sense. Like I felt like I was in Japan, and I felt like I was in Fast and Furious about to do some wicked stunts, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, and I really feel like don't take my word as gospel. You should talk to everybody, but you'll notice Peden will have his 180SX.
Yeah,
and that will be the car that he drives every event.
Yeah,
the Shanahans, who are the pair of brothers that are amazing in Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, Jack's getting a new car. I don't know if I can actually say what it is because they did mention it. But previously he drove an S14 and his brother's got an S13.
Yeah.
Silvia's.
Yeah.
James Dean just won Formula Drift with an S15. Silvia, like mine. Well, obviously his is way better, but like the way Monkey London sold it to me, who I also feel like you should do a video with, is he sold it to me like there is a reason why James Dean uses an S15. Yeah. That's literally what he said because he's got an S15 as well.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I think I've seen his on YouTube as well.
Monkey London, black one. Yeah. It's normally on fire. Yeah. But you know, he's getting it fixed. But like that's just my advice as like a grassroots drifter. Find a car that you love. Even if you go to sponsors and be like, this is what I'm able to do and this is my journey. This is the views and the coverage you're gonna get. Yeah. I need the money to buy the car. Yeah. You know, I want the money to buy the car, and then I honestly think you get that Murcielago and you'll be like, I'm going to take Silvia out.
Yeah, probably.
It's a Sunday.
It's going to work more than the Murcielago.
This could be a good video series. What's more unreliable? An SR20 or a Murcielago V12? That would be interesting. Yeah. But no, I think you've got a long path ahead, but it's one of probably the most enjoyable you'll ever walk. I can speak on my own behalf on this that it was the most fun year of my life, and it's the little victories in it that are the ones that mattered the most. So I really struggled drifting around a cone, and that's the most basic thing ever. And I
just doing like a circle around
donuts around a cone. I was terrible. Figure of 8, I was terrible, and I'm thinking I'm filming all this and putting it on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? That was what was going through my head, and then I was like, the guy who was helping me, he was like, go out in the kidney bean and see how you get on with that.
What's a kidney bean?
Right, so a kidney bean is like, you know, like the shape like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I went out in that, and obviously then you got to start linking it up, and I kept spinning out here, but I was like, oh, I can do this. Is more enjoyable. And I said to him after night, he was like, "Are you going to go on the big track?" I was like, "I'm scared." I was like, "I'm happy to admit I'm terrified right now. Like I'm shaking." He was like, "Just go out. Let everybody else go in front of you. They'll understand that you to stay away because you're new. Just go out." And I was like, "All right." So we were waving people forward, and then I realised everybody in that line was as nervous as me. And I was like, "We're all going to die."
Everyone was just lined up.
Yeah.
Going, "No, you go.
And I was like, "You go." I'll put it in reverse and go back. And then I ended up doing like a few hours on that outer track. And like for me, I can equate it when I skateboarded. That was like going to the skate park and dropping on the 6-foot ramp and being like, "Oh my god," you know. That was that like, and I'm really excited for you. Yeah. Because when you were like, "I'm gonna get into drifting," I was like, "He's about to." I even think I treated. I was like, "Yes, finally, you're gonna love something." It's just the most like. I've driven all around the country on my own to go to these events in my van and my trailer car. Just like, I'm going 11 and a half hours up to Driftland now. I don't know any of these guys I'm going to drive with, but it'll be fine. You get there and you just go around, shake people's hands. I normally find stuff on their cars I like. I don't lie. I wouldn't go up to a car I don't like and be like, "Oh, yeah, this is sick, man." I'd probably be like, I go up, look around the car and be like, "Man, I fucking love your body kit." Or, "Damn, the colour is sick." Do you know? Try and like create a bit of a bond with people over the cars themselves, and then go from there. And then normally they'll be like, "When you're entering the corner, you're going in too early." And I'm like, "Right, okay, do you mind if I follow you and just watch you go in?" And I'll just do a sighting lap and follow them. And then I'm like, "Right, that's where I need to enter this time." And like I did explain about the Street Track Life Day, that's the best 2 days of my calendar. Ali invites me and I go, "I will be there." Mum, I need you to have the dog these days. Like, there's no arguments about that.
Finn, so you come second best to that debate.
To Street Track Life, you have to go on your own little holiday, don't you, Finn? But I think you're going to love it. I do. And in my opinion, I believe you should get a car. And that's just for me. Even if it's a 350Z. Yeah. Because like, even though they're not like the coolest scene car or whatever. They're very reliable. They sound incredible, and they drift really well. And you'll probably learn in one of those. Okay. That's probably what they'll put you in at the Pro Drift Academy. Okay. They're great. They're great beginners cars, and they're almost like what the E36 was. So like, they're a great beginner's car, and then you can go, "Right, I want a 500 brake horsepower Skyline to do this in now," or "I want a BMW E46 M3 to do this in." Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think if you watch some of the old Japanese videos on YouTube, which is what I did before I knew anything about drifting, and I'd been to a few events, I was like, "Sorry, I'm just going to watch the older B2 events and the D1 GPs and stuff." And I was like, "I'm just going to watch it and just see if I like it," because that's where you'll kind of gauge. Like, you won't understand a word they're saying, but you'll just watch these guys wrecking these Japanese cars, and you're like, "Whoa!"
I think again, like, that goes back to the social media and the exposure that you have, like with people picking up supercars and collecting them and stuff. But you have access to something that you might not have had 10 years ago because it would have been on Japanese TV. You wouldn't
a lot of people would have used DVDs like this. Actually, I've got one over here. I bought these when I was in Japan. The auction DVDs. So these are old, like ones actually when it was in England in 2006.
Oh wow.
And then the other ones like from there. So I've got these that I chuck on and have on in the background when I'm doing stuff, just because.
So cool.
Yeah. So that's the sort of stuff. I picked them up in Japan, 25p each, in a shop in Japan. I'm like, can't knock that at all. Yeah. But I'm really excited for you, and I hope your audience gets behind you with it as well. And even if they don't at the beginning, because mine didn't. Like, I had some that were like really supportive, but a lot of people were very anti-drifting, just want Hondas, which I think you're going to get with. They just want the supercars. Yeah. Stick with it. Be real passionate about it. Be like, this is. I'm loving this, and I think people will relate to it. Like, maybe I want to give that a go. Yeah. And the more people we can get into drifting, the better it will be in England, because there'll be more drift days. There'll be more tracks being like, because I know for like how some of the tracks, they say like there's a lot of like arrogance about it. Like, so the motorbike track riders and the car track drivers will be like, "Can't we stop the drifters from coming because they keep ruining the track?" And the track will just reply, "The drifters are the ones that paid to come the most. You know, we make the most money out of the drift days. So no, they're coming back." So if we can get more drift days up, and it means that we're not all sat online like, "Oh my god, am I going to get a ticket?" Like, because rocking them in the summer, you have a 10-second period where the tickets are there and then they're gone. So like, it is like, we have to get on this, and I really feel like the Matsuri, I'm going to give Matsuri a plug because I will be there.
I've heard all about it.
I haven't shut up about it really. It is like, I'm going to send you a couple of links to mine and Monkey London's videos from last year. And they are, it's just, that is the festival. So they have night drift, team drifting, so you'll watch the teams going around at night, and you'll watch the girl team. At night? Yeah, the girl team who are better than everyone.
Can't even do it in a day.
Yeah, you'll love it, man. And I'm really excited for you for this. No, like, I feel like you get to. Everybody thinks supercars are the pinnacle of cars, don't they? They're like, I want it. My dream is a Lamborghini, but then you go, that's affordable, and I could have a go. And all I've got to do is go and.
But you can guarantee that someone that has only owned Audi R8s or whatever and driven them on the road has never had as much fun as someone that's done a drift day or got a drift car they take to
I mean,
drift
the one for me is the Sultan, and I don't know what Arab nation he is, but he is obsessed with drifting now.
Yeah.
Lunatics by nature are all like the super rich Arab guys. Are the lunatics by nature, and they're all sponsored by Monster now. They're all pro drifters now. They've just gone, fuck it. We've got LaFerraris and Enzos, but my S15 with a V8, I'm going to drive that.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm excited about
weirdly, I did a trip to to Dubai a couple of years ago, and it could well be this guy because we sort of jumped on the back of a convoy. We weren't in a Ferrari. We were in a Cadillac, I think we were. And we were doing this Ferrari owners club drive that ended up in this compound of a palace. It was unbelievable. And this guy had it was like a palace, and you walk in, it's his garage. It's not even his house. And he's got Veyrons, he's got two LaFerraris, he's got all of the Ferraris, he had a Lamborghini Reventon, he had McLaren P1, he had like 25 cars, like pristine, looking like it was in a museum, it had a bowling alley in it, it was like his man cave. And outside the back, he had a drift track, and he had two drift cars there, and he turned up in his Bugatti Veyron, got out of the car, welcomed everyone, and then all of a sudden we're walking around going, oh, look at that LaFerrari, like dribble coming out of our mouths. And then you just hear, we're like, what's going on out there? And like literally I ran outside just to see what was going on. He was just practicing his drifting. I was like, I want to watch this. These static cars are boring. And I think it is just...
I don't want to like try and take it away from them, but I genuinely feel like there'll be a point where you're just kind of... You'll be walking around one of these supercar shows that you've always been excited about, and you'll just be like...
Can you drift that one?
Like, it's not even that, you just be like, do you know what, if that was an old S14, I could hop in there and I could have that backwards against the wall. Do you know what I mean? It was Driftland that changed me, because when I went up there, because before Driftland, like, all the other tracks are good, but they're all very safe. At Driftland, my first 3 laps, I think it was, I followed another S15 up a bank, and his aero just... And I was like, oh, I'm in the deep end here, boy. Do you know what I mean? And I was going around, and that, like I said, that morning I sucked, and I was giving myself such a hard time. I started to get the hang of it, and I lost my bumper, and I was like, right, fuck it, let's just do this. I've got this car for drifting. If I wreck it, we'll fix it. That's what I got in my head. If I wreck it, I'll fix it. We'll drift again. And just out. And that's it. And it's the most exhilarating feeling when you're chucking the car in, and you're chasing somebody, and you're getting closer to them, and you're getting closer, and you're just like, oh, this is it.
It is an adrenaline rush that I really haven't experienced that much, but the times that I have, the brake attraction, living a little bit on the edge, out of control,
that brake
but also
attraction.
in control.
Remember that brake attraction, and then imagine looking over like that, and there's another car there, and you're like,
what's up?
We might die right now. My favourite video I've done is one where my friend Morgan came drifting with me, and he's done drifting before. He'd come drifting with me before. I got him a lesson drifting as well, so he could start to get the hang of it, because he's got the same car as me. He's got a Silvia as well. It's a really nice white spec car. And
sounds like everyone's got Silvers. Are there any for sale?
There are a few, but the prices are
oh god.
So he come drifting, and there's a bit in the video where I'm putting it against the wall, and I must be like this close, and you can hear him go. And it's just that in the video, it's just that, and this is why I love filming the videos, because a lot of people think you pretentiously do it. Well, I do it for the memories. Like, I'll have that on camera. I can show my kids and be like, look what I scared your Uncle Morgan with. Do you know what I mean? Like, I might be old and decrepit now, I used to be alright at something. You know? So, see, I'm excited for you, man.
No, it's gonna be so much fun, but like I'm probably taking it seriously, because whilst I don't want to completely narrow my tunnel vision to just becoming a professional drifter, I think it is such a good skill to have, of incredible car control that you can take anywhere.
I think once you've got that, you'll be able, and if you do like the reviews for, let's say, Ferrari, and they let you on a track, you'll be able to be like, I'm not. How do you turn the traction off?
Yeah,
you know, I probably shouldn't, but fuck it.
I never been to Ferrari on a track.
Did you?
Yeah. on the press drive.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
812 Supercars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's in one of my videos, but I'd never put it in the actual video because I was scared of what Ferrari were going to think. And then I actually slipped it into a video at the end of the year so that people might miss it, because it's such a short clip, but I'm doing about 80 miles an hour. And I was like, let's see what happens when you turn traction control off. I just went around this corner and I was just like, left, right, tank slap wrong, oh, and it was pretty scary because the barriers were right there. But hopefully, like in let's say 6 months, 12 months, or whatever, it's just an addition to the content that I've got with the cars that I'm already driving, as well as doing the storyline of trying to become a professional drifter.
I think you'll love it. I think the drift community will love it because the drifters just love drifting.
Yeah,
that's what I've learned. Drifters just love drift. They don't care who you are. They don't care what car you've got.
That's wicked.
If we can go out skidding, then we'll go out skidding.
Yeah.
I think it shows it because it snowed the other day. Well, we were all there and we were all just like, can we still go out? And they were like, yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, we do want. We want to. Like, it's coming down thick, and everyone's still like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, we're still getting a little skid, yeah. Like that was it. Like it was just brilliant.
Oh
and,
man, it's gonna be so much fun.
I think I can't wait for you. I'm very, very excited for you, man. So back to some questions.
Go on.
We'll go back in. I think we've covered that really well. I think. This kind of goes on. This is obviously that drifting was obviously a choice for you. It wasn't consulted with your audience or anything, which I think is good. I think that you have to have that. Before we do that, I'm just going to restart. Just pop them. There we go. So yeah, the drifting was obviously for you and not consulted with your audience. Like, do you guys mind if I? And I like that because I believe YouTube is for you. Yes, you have an audience, but hopefully your audience like you enough to just go, I like Paul, I'm going to watch whatever he does. You know, if some people are only there for the supercars, fair enough. Yeah. Do you feel like when you buy cars, or previously when you've bought cars, you've had to justify the reason for buying that car, or have you always just bought them because that's the one you wanted?
I think it is purely because it's the car that I've wanted.
That's good. I think that's a good reason to do it.
It might not necessarily be the exact car that I want, mainly down to either I can't go into the dealership and spec one up brand new and then lose 20, 30 grand on the depreciation of it. The only times that I've done videos like why I bought whatever car I bought is either I had a number of cars in the running for it and I left it right down to the last minute that I revealed what car that I'd bought. And then I kind of felt like I probably should justify why I've bought that car against the other cars. Because,
which I think is a fair reason as well.
Because the comments would have been like, oh, I would have bought that car or I would have bought that car. And then it comes down to, personally, the pros and the cons of every single car, what ticks what boxes for me, what makes my heart pump faster. And that was the main reason why I ever did why I bought that car. And it came down to just purely because it was the style of video that I was creating, a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of a mystery of what car I'd bought. And then it comes down to, I probably should say, well, I've bought it then.
I think that's a fair enough reason. Cool, man.
Yeah, the car history is always...
Now, I believe you are at fault for spawning this whole genre of YouTube videos. Do you know what's coming? The McDonald's drive-through, Paul. Everyone does them now. What made you decide to go, do you know what, fuck it, I'm going to take a car for a McDonald's drive-through? Because you do McDonald's roulette, don't you? Yeah. Which is a weird thing. When I watched it, I was like, okay. What? Like, so, I feel like I have to ask you on behalf of like the other people that are like me, like, what?
Everyone that is fed up with the idiots taking cars through McDonald's drive-throughs. And, okay, when I bought the Audi RA, I still had in my head that my core point of the channel and videos that I created was I wanted to document the reality of owning the cars.
Okay.
So I bought the Audi R8 and I immediately launched a series which was Living With. And I wanted to do like a YouTube series of what it was like to actually live with an Audi R8, because no one had ever documented that in the past. All the content that was out there was either a drive-by of an Audi R8, which I probably filmed in London, or a TV advert that you saw of Audi going, "This is the slowest car we've ever built," and all that crap. And Top Gear and Fifth Gear did fantastic jobs of reviewing the cars, but what I wanted to do was put them in real life situations that normal people do and see how it handled. And the idea of doing a McDonald's drive-through was purely because I thought I was going to curb a wheel through the tightness of it.
Okay.
And I was like, it's pretty punchy to do that with a car that I've just bought and I don't know how wide it is, but who has seen an Audi R8 or any supercar do a McDonald's drive-through? Because
they are so popular, their videos.
Well,
aren't they?
I know.
I look at them like you've done this like really nice like day of a GTR or something like out on a you know test review, and then you get like you put up on McDonald's and it's like a billion views.
I know. It's
people would rather click on that than this, and I just think it's amazing.
I honestly don't. I think there's obviously the air of mystery with the McDonald's roulette that I'm almost certain I saw on YouTube before I did it first, but I can't remember the channel, otherwise I'd be like, it's inspired by this guy. Because I'm all about crediting where the sources come from. And the only thing that I can remember is watching a French prankster do McDonald's drive-thrus, and I think that's where I got the idea that I wanted to take supercars through to drive-thrus.
Yeah.
But the R8, I can't even remember like what happened on the Audi one, but I remember what happened in the Lamborghini one. I realised I didn't have cup holders. And I got like 2 or 3 drinks or something like that, and I just freaked out that I just bought this Lamborghini that I couldn't afford, and I had drinks just balancing on my hand. What am I doing with this?
Yeah.
And I think it was just where I got my passion and saw that there was this opportunity of filming cars and bringing them to life rather than seeing them on television or in magazines. I was bringing them to life and seeing them in real life scenarios of stuck in traffic in London. Then when I had my own car, I wanted to put it into the real world that people wouldn't necessarily have seen them in. So I was then even bringing them more to life or more real, where I just saw them driving with someone else driving. I then brought them even more closer to what I did, like when I had my Vauxhall Astra. Like everyone does McDonald's drive-thrus, it's just such a normal thing to do, but it's very rare that you would see it in a very expensive car.
Oh, there we go. That's that answer. I had to ask because I was just like, I don't know why you do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, but at least I know now. It's to put in a supercar in a real life situation.
Exactly.
Where
I took the R8 to the gym. I took it to all sorts of things. I mean, I did a video of like me kicking a bunch of gym balls around the gym when I took the Audi R8 to that. I think I went at about 12 o'clock at night.
Right.
So there was no one else in the gym so that I could get away with filming it, because otherwise look a bit weird going into the gym with a camera.
I always thought like, I always thought, because obviously I told you I'm trying to lose weight and that, and I was like, maybe I should start vlogging my like, on my second channel, like my weight loss, because it could be cool for me, and the motivation for me, I was like, I don't know if I've got the bottle. I don't know if I've got the bottle to take that camera in the gym and be like, well, I'm fat at the minute and I'm lifting like 1 kg weight, but look at me. I just don't know if I can do that.
No, so. It is definitely a barrier that I don't think I could overcome, taking a camera into the gym. If you're training with a partner, then you might get away with doing some iPhone shots and be like, right, can you just quickly film this set like that, and then go like that. But it is such a sensitive thing when you're just walking around in public with a camera. You never know who's going to be there, and I've heard the weirdest and wackiest stories about people in the background of a video and coming up and being like, well, I've actually got a, like, you have to pay to put me in the video because I've got like whatever it is and stuff like that, and it is mental. But
if you want good gym videos, Fabian Bellard, one of my friends, makes very good gym videos.
Right. I need to check it out.
I think we're okay. Sorry,
6 minutes in.
Yeah, cool. How do you maintain a normal life alongside running such a big YouTube channel where you're not just vlogging, you are out? You know, like you were like, where were you last? Sidonia, did you say, or some shit?
No, Corsica in Sweden.
Corsica in Sweden. And where are you this week?
Slovakia.
See, like that's not normal, man. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's
like,
not.
You've got a girlfriend. You've bought a flat together. Like you are like in real life as well as this like insane YouTube career that you have.
Yeah.
How do you maintain it? Like, how do you like? How the fuck? Because I struggle with a dog, man. Let alone a girl. I'm pretty sure she'd hang me out the dark. Right.
I think it definitely comes down to like my girlfriend being so supportive of everything that I do. She understands it. I've been with her for nearly 6 years now. She was with me before I had a Twitter and Instagram account, and she's watched the entire growth. So it definitely helps that she's supportive and understanding of everything that I do, because I am on my phone 98% of the time, and I think the 2% is when I'm at dinner, because she really kicks off when I'm on my phone at dinner. But it is mad, and I think to know that but I used to spend all of my time in London filming as well. Like I just seem to work out the balance, and oh my god, like I've got it wrong so many times when I've overworked myself. I've nearly burnt myself out. I'm getting 2 hours sleep, but honestly, from the moment that I've come out of university, I have more often than not done over 12-hour days. And that might not necessarily being hardcore editing or filming, but even just sitting on my phone and flicking through Twitter and getting back to notifications or doing emails or whatever it is just constant. But it comes down to the fact that this is my passion, this is what I enjoy, so it never feels like work. And I really had a struggle of trying to flick that word from being like, I'm going to film cars, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, to be like, oh, I need to do work now. And I still don't. It's other people around me that say, are you working today? I'd be like, oh, not really. And be like, what are you doing then? I'd be like, oh, I'm actually filming a Mercedes do this and that. So it doesn't feel like work. And I think that there's no way of escaping that actually I do work 7 days a week, and I do tend to do over 10 hours, whether it be editing, filming or whatever. It is completely non-stop. And if I'm on a flight, I'll be editing on the flight. and I mean the prime example was something that I did with Michelin, where I went out to LA and they put on this incredible itinerary. Like, it was unbelievable, but it was 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. at night. And then at 11 p.m. night, everyone goes back to the bar and everyone has a few drinks. And literally, I was up until 1 o'clock, and then I was editing from 1 till 3 from what I'd shot that day, because I felt rude about saying to everyone else that I need to go and edit. And then I was up at 6 a.m. And so I was running off 3 hours sleep for about a week. And I don't really know what the formula is, other than if you're passionate about something and you enjoy doing it, then you kind of feel like you can do as much as
you
possible.
make time to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
sure.
you do as much as physically possible.
Yeah.
But halfway through 2017, like, I nearly burnt myself out, and for about 2 weeks I was like, I'm never uploading a video again. I never want to do YouTube again. And it was just you asleep?
Just making an annoying whistle noise right next to the fucking microphone.
So there's been ups and downs, and I think this journey has been completely mental, and I can't really believe what has happened when you start looking back on the YouTube video going, oh my god, I did that.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. The highs are incredibly high and the lows are incredibly low.
Yeah.
So it is just a complete balancing act and a lot of fun.
Excellent. Excellent. That's a really interesting answer.
Yeah.
Cool. I've just got to find a bird that will accept me that I'm going to be on my phone all the time.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Never going to happen. I'm going to be alone forever. So my final question that I've got written down is what is your favourite experience you've had as a YouTuber?
Favourite experience as a YouTuber?
And it can't be the Nissan today.
I would actually convert that to experiences, because it's plural, it's multiple, and it just is, no matter where I go, wherever I take my camera, the people that I meet that are car fans, that are petrol heads, that I can end up having a 10-15 minute conversation with wherever I am, is just the coolest thing about it, the most humbling thing about it. But I just love going anywhere and just chatting cars.
Yeah.
I don't want to escape the car community, which is why, like, I'm so excited for the drifting stuff, because I just feel like it's gonna get 10, 20 times better.
One thing that I've just been thinking about for you with this drifting is that the fact that you haven't even seen some of these cars that exist yet.
No.
Like the Chaser, you were like, what is that? And
Yeah.
like, that when you see a barge that big with 500 brake horsepower throwing itself at a wall, you're going to be like, I can't believe people do this. And you'll go and like, oh, have you got another car? And you'll be like, no.
Yeah, that's my.
This is my daily. Yeah, it's my daily. Yeah, I'll drive home in this. I'll take it to work tomorrow. And you're like, you are fucking mental. Like, I'm very lucky that we have the van and I have a daily car. So like, I nick the van on the week. I have to check with my brother because we share it. So like, if he's not got a delivery, then I can take the van. And like, I think that's the one thing that will really surprise you. And I'm really excited for you because I've had, like I said, the most amazing year learning a drift.
I think because I discovered the supercars when I did, and realised that they existed in real life, and Jesus Christ, like seeing an Aston Martin drive down the road, I was like, my jaw was on the floor, and I knew that I had to document it in some form to show my friends. But I can imagine, because my passion for cars has stemmed from video games, it stemmed from the Fast and Furious movies and all sorts of stuff, that if I discovered that scene before the supercars, my life would have been completely, or my journey would have been completely different, and who knows what would have happened. But the fact that I'm now being able to revisit that and sort of start the new journey is like seriously exciting. Exciting.
I think you'll have enough people in the drift community that want to get on board as well, because like we said, we need as much exposure for it.
I'm all for that. Like, I just really want
definitely get in touch with Jeek at
learn.
I promised him I'd say that. I told you, Jeek. Where's my hookup now? Where's my hookup? No, he looked after me when I
I've still got his email. I just need to email him.
Drop him an email and say like, can we come up and do some big fat smoky skids?
Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant. Right, shall we take a pause real quick and I'll ask some questions on the Q&A, or should we call it? Because it's 4:10.
4:10. I mean, let's. Why don't we do it? If we can get like some cool questions in, then we'll do it. Maybe like
Alright, so pause. We're good. We are good, Mr. Wallace.
Excellent.
Right, I've posted on my Instagram. It's a weird time of the day though. It's 4 o'clock on a Monday, so it's like not when everyone's on their phones. We've got some questions. So we have got some questions. Right, let's. I'm not going to ask stupid questions.
Okay. You can ask him if you want.
No, because obviously I come from the Honda background. A lot of people are like, "When's he gonna buy a Honda?" You know, so that's just a general question that everyone gets a million times. I'm gonna ask one. Okay, I think this is a pretty good question from another YouTuber, Panos TV.
Okay.
How do you think the YouTube scene would have changed in 5 years' time? Because obviously you've been around for a long time on it, so you've seen it evolve.
Yeah, it has definitely evolved, like, quite considerably in the last 2 years, probably more so than in the 8 years before that, because I feel like the content's improved. I feel like there are creators out there now that are producing as good as television style documentaries as vlogs. Like, and it's just ridiculous. It's setting the bar to a new level. And I think YouTube have got quite a lot of plans to try and rival the likes of Netflix, which is good and bad, because they're obviously going after where the paycheck lies, but at the same time they need to also consider the creators and also the smaller creators that I saw, was it a couple of weeks ago or last week?
You have to have over 10,000, is it, no, is it, I can't remember, 4,000 video views a minute, like minute views or something like that to be able to qualify or something?
So I feel like they're almost going backwards in the way that the monetization works, because at the beginning obviously I had to set a business plan. I think it's going to feel a little bit more high end than it might do at the moment, because the quality is only going to get better. The technology in cameras is only going to become better, which means that the sort of products are going to become a lot more accessible. So a camera now that might cost £5 that's used in television, the technology is going to be in the 500 quid cameras, so everyone's going to be able to use them. So like what we're seeing on Instagram, everyone uploading DSLR pictures, and then when someone uploads an iPhone picture, go, "What is that on a potato?" Like, I think that the quality is only going to get better, which I suppose is an exciting thing because it's a challenge to everyone. And I think a lot more people, especially in the car world, are going to start taking slightly different directions. I think right now there is a lot of content that's duplicate, and it's a real struggle that we all face in terms of trying to create different stuff. Like, I had a tweet today that was like, your Jaguar E-Pace was actually pretty bad because it didn't feature anything to do with the car, no interior shots and no stats. But I was with Sam all day, and that's what he filmed.
Right,
so we're not going to duplicate the same content.
Well, it's like I said to you earlier, didn't I, about the camera? Let's not film the same thing, otherwise we've got the same video. Like.
It's pointless. So I think as long as creators work together and collaborate and work and actually put effort into their content, then it's only going to get better, which is an exciting thing. And hopefully YouTube really starts seeing the importance of the community, because that's what it was right from the word go. And now I feel like that they're having a real sort of sticky situation with advertisers and the way that they see YouTube and the way that they perceive YouTube. It didn't help that extremist videos went on other videos with ads and things like that, and I think that's what they're trying to iron out.
I still don't fully believe that.
What?
That I don't believe that extremist videos had ads on, because I think that was just like, because who's going to argue with that? Who's going to go, ah? Because they've kind of gone, fuck, we fucked up putting PewDiePie on the spot. We need to, we need something to quickly blame, you know, oh, it was the fucking ISIS. You know, well, hang on a minute, like, then they show like, oh, Jimmy Kimmel's talking about war and stuff, and he gets to advertise it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I just kind of go, you're talking shit.
They control it, and they do put wool over our eyes sometimes. But I think in 5 years' time,
who knows?
I'd like to see it, if they're going backwards with the monetization. Yes, it might be difficult for the smaller guys to get monetization, which obviously it supports them creating the content, but hopefully to the right people that are in it for the right reason, it's going to motivate them even more. And that's the most important thing, because if you get motivation from setbacks, then that's how you're going to get success.
Definitely.
So hopefully they go backwards and make it a bit more of a community.
I hope that too. I think today is quite a big day in the terms of UK car YouTube that you've come to me. And I'm just saying because you are much more established than I am. I have a very small following in the grand scheme of things, but you've gone, I don't care about views and stuff. Let's just hang out. You know, it's like, okay, sound like I want to film a podcast. Let's film a fucking podcast. I'll take me out in your Sylvia. Let's see what it's like. And it's like, hopefully we get like the bigger YouTubers wanting to cross over with other of the smaller YouTubers, and like,
for sure, because
like in America, their YouTubes are massive, aren't they? Like, if we can get that same sort of thing here, and we can all create beautiful stuff for everybody, then it works.
Like the way that I sort of see my channel and the numbers that are associated to it is it's just a number on a screen. Like, whilst I absolutely love being able to create content for my subscribers and wouldn't be in the position that I am without them, and I think that the support that they provide to Supercars of London is amazing, and the community is like nothing I've ever experienced or never thought that I would experience. At the same time, like, we're all car guys. I don't see someone that watches my video as someone that I wouldn't talk to you if you didn't have 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I can have a chat with anyone about cars. And I think there are a lot of big guys out there with millions of subscribers and things like that. And again, I just think it would be boring if you were just that one guy that had, like PewDiePie, like with 50 million subscribers or whatever, he's on something ridiculous like that, and no one else is anywhere near him. Like, it must be quite boring to just be like, oh, like, no.
Well,
like,
nearly at 60 million now.
Yeah, exactly. But then have that mentality of, I've got 60 million followers. If I collaborate with someone that's got 25,000 subscribers, I'm not going to benefit from it. Like, it just shouldn't be like that.
No. Of course.
Everyone is just like a person that has interests and opinions, and I don't necessarily think that numbers need to get in the way of that.
Yeah, I agree. So there's a guy called Matt the Gin. Hang on, let me read his username out. Mitch.theginge_73 has asked, possible Liberty Walk kit for the Murcielago?
Jesus Christ. I think that's definitely one of the most asked questions about the cars that I own is, are you going to Liberty Walk it? Because I feel like people they're holding all of their hopes on a wide body kit going on one of my cars. Can you imagine Sam from Seen Through Glass putting a Liberty Walk on his Ferrari, or Tim putting a Liberty Walk on one of his cars? So
if Sam did that, I think I'd explode.
I think a lot of people would explode. I probably wouldn't do it on the Murcielago, because whilst it is a very, very cool modification to do, it does take away quite a lot of usability, and that car starts with very minimal usability as it is. So to make it even worse to drive, I just don't think I could do it. I probably should have done it on the Huracan.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
My reasoning is, not that I don't like Liberty Walk,
yeah,
but I mean, I love Liberty Walk. I love Liberty Walk Europe. The guys that run it are amazing guys. They're fantastic. But I personally don't like the body kits.
Okay. Yeah. They are out there, and they're not made in a wind tunnel.
I also believe that they're a fad. Okay, so I think right now, big bolt-on kits are the popular.
They are, for sure.
Popular thing.
I went to SEMA and everything was.
Everything was like 2-3 years ago when I went to SEMA. Everything was GT86. Everything.
Yeah.
And like they have these like little fads, and I think there'll be a lot of very rich people cutting up their very expensive cars to be the hot shit now. Yeah. In 3 or 4 years, people will be like, well, I've seen it done 1 billion times. Yeah. Now what?
Yeah.
You know, cars on their roofs with reels upside. I don't know, but like that's one thing I think. I think they'll be in and out right now. Okay. I agree. Gio has sent me a question. My friend Gio has sent me a question. Snog, marry, avoid. Archie Hamilton, Seen Through Glass, and TGE. We'll finish on this question, Gio. You got the last one in.
Snog, marry, avoid.
Archie Hamilton, Seen Through Glass, and TGE.
Okay, I'd avoid Archie. Because he's an annoying pest. I think I would, only because that's the last thing that I'd have. I've done so many road trips with Sam. I've done so many things. We've shared cars, we've shared hotel rooms, as weird as that sounds. But like I explained to you off camera, when you really get a sense of a friendship when you have to do a road trip with someone, because you're in their personal space 24/7. And I've done enough road trips with Sam that we don't get pissed off with each other. And I think it is a real test of a friendship when you have to spend 10 hours in a car with each other for 4 days in a row. Like, it's not like a little hour round the M25 and be like, oh, thank God I'm out. Like, I just need to go to the toilet and have my own personal space. So I'd probably marry Sam. And then I'd probably snog TGE, which wouldn't be pleasant. But the reason why I'd probably say that with TGE and why I'm left with the avoid of Archie Hamilton is that TGE is absolutely hilarious. He's exactly the same on camera as he is off camera, if not like less filtered off camera.
Right, okay.
And I've recently just spent the weekend with him, and honestly I spent 90% of the time that I was with him tears running down my face of just laughing so much.
And that's cool.
So yeah, hilarious question. I wish I had questions like that on my Q&A. I get amazing questions, and like I end up picking very sensible ones.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I've
yeah.
absolutely loved
Well, I feel like we've done a very sensible podcast.
Yeah.
We've gone in depth for a lot of stuff, and
So
I wanted to end on a bit of a joke. Because
Yeah.
95% of the other questions are asking when are you going to buy a Honda, and I don't know. I just can't ask that question.
I did like the new Civic Type R that I had, and I was supposed to have the new NSX last week.
Oh, really?
But I got bumped down the queue because Top Gear needed one. So cool. So I'm now getting
cheers.
one in April.
Oh, cool. Well, I look forward to hearing about that, because the NSX is a sexual car.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to Supercars of London. His link will be down below, even though I'm sure you probably do already, but it doesn't hurt to double check.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the vlogs from our day have already come out from this, no?
Yes, this is going to come out much later on, yeah.
Okay.
A few weeks, definitely, because I've got another podcast to drop just before. So,
okay.
Yeah, the vlogs will have been out. Hopefully you'll have enjoyed those.
Yes.
And you have now enjoyed this little in-depth sort of pool. So,
and no doubt there'll be much more content to come from both of us.
fingers crossed, man. I hope we get to work together on the
No, we need to road trip
drifting
up to Scotland. We need to road trip up to Scotland.
Yeah, I'll be in the
and
van.
do Driftland.
I can't drive into Sylvia all the way up. I'll be in the comfort of my transit van.
Let's tow your drift car, my Murcielago.
Oh my god, imagine how cool that
I don't
would
even
be.
have a Murcielago.
Wrap it the same
Why
colour
are we talking
as my,
about it?
Wrap it the same colour as my Sylvia.
Yeah.
Anyway guys, I really hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've liked the insight into Paul. I hope you've liked the questions I've asked.
That's been good.
Something
It's
I'm
been
trying
so
to-
much fun.
Trying to really get the podcast on point.
Nah,
So
it's good fun.
make sure you hit subscribe to me. Make sure you hit subscribe to him. And we'll see you again another time. Thank you.
Peace.
Cool.
Sick.
Dude, thank you, man.
No, it was good fun.